and LFY just first picks Earthspirit 2 games in a row, and it was kind of easy for them. Whereas now, like these 100% win rate heroes that OG LFY have, they might be contested for.
Yeah, I think one of the more heavily contested heroes here is just going to be Puck. Both teams have a lot of success with it. Night Stalker as well, LFY.
Oh boy, Night Stalker.
They haven't lost with it yet.
Well, Lich is not picked or banned.
Whoa, Bloodseeker.
Yep.
Were they anticipating this Lycan Night Stalker, or were they just picking Bloodseeker?
I'm not sure. This might be something that helps them win, or it might actually be a burden, because what ended up happening in the last series was they lost to Bloodseeker in PP, and then they beat them with Bloodseeker in 20 minutes or something. And now they're like, oh, Bloodseeker, this is the shit, guys. And you know what happens when you think that way. Sometimes it can be a disaster.
So the Lich is coming out. Night Stalker Lich. Have they ever done Night Stalker offlane? That's my question. Do you remember?
I don't think they've done that for a long time.
Yeah, so they picked their 2 supports there. Nobody has like an insta-stun, so maybe they look forward to that. Pick something that enables it.
I think I really like the fact that instead of opening with their mid hero this time, they're adapting a little bit to NewBee just because they know that SEC is just going to have such an advantageous lane. So they're waiting to pick that. And it's actually NewBee that leads with the core first, which is pretty rare.
And they can play it in 2 roles too.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a pretty open core itself.
Yeah, Bloodseeker has been very successful on the main stage. Just dominates the lane with his ability to heal every time he kills.
I actually like this Lich pick because I think it gives them the ability to adapt to whatever lane they feel is pressure. Yeah.
If you think about the 5 position heroes too that can zone out or just win you the dual lane situations, I don't think there's a lot. I feel like Lich is one of the few that just straight up win, right? Because in a 2v2 situation, who really beats it? Oftentimes when you're a hero like Dazzle, you just sit there, you pull, you don't really have a lot of lane pressure.
Yeah, I think it depends on the lane that you're setting this Lich to, because there's a lot of instances where if you send this Lich to the off lane and you don't block their camps, they're just going to slowly gain an advantage over Lich. And in that position, I don't feel Lich is comfortable in. You want to be able to actually like starve them out, and you want to spam sentries on Lich. You want to keep blocking their hard camps so they can't get XP. And then you want to like starve them out and then gain like an advantage in the economy.
I mean, especially both of you guys as safe lane players, this has got to be a pretty annoying hero. You walk into it, you see a dual off lane, just like, I don't know.
I permaban that hero for a reason.
Honestly, I actually don't mind playing Gris Lich, because I know, I might not die. Like, I feel pretty safe playing against, like, let's say I'm playing Lich and Legion. I know I probably won't die. Like, I'm just going to chill, I might just, take a lot of harass. I'm going to get my range scripts denied, but I don't feel that bad, Being aggroed feels bad, because you might die.
I feel like they should put that Lich against the Bloodseeker, so that Bloodseeker doesn't get that lane domination, one of the lanes.
So at this point, we see the Doom ban out of NewBee. And I actually just wanted to come all the way back to the very first ban of Death Prophet, which I've seen a number of teams first ban Death Prophet. Is this just to try to shut down any sort of guaranteed early pushing?
It's just some teams, right? Like IG and NewBee. No, IG and OGFY are famous for this hero. They'll first 2 this hero, whereas the other teams, they don't really play it, so they're not going to ban against them. I feel like it's kind of just, I'm not sure how important this ban is. I feel like they might just ban it because they don't want to first 2 it and the enemy can first 2 it, so might as well. And we all play all the other heroes anyway, so just leave them in the pool. And it'll leave this Lich in this pool that people wouldn't leave before. Leave this Night Stalker or Earthspirit in the pool that people would try to ban out before. Let's leave everything in the pool.
Yeah, the set of bans is very, very different.
Like they banned Veno, because they don't want to first 2 Veno, but the enemy might. And maybe it's not that OP a hero, but like who cares? Like just get rid of this DP. The enemy's gonna play it. We won't play it. Whatever.
We see the Doom also banned by NewBee, followed up by Tidehunter for LGD.
That was something you mentioned, right, earlier on, that they'll do this Lich Doom against you. So you just want to get rid of that pretty quickly.
Dazzle.
Yeah, they have to pick a 5 there, or else LGD FY is going to have the core matchup counters 1 by 1, 1 by 1.
Yep.
So, but now they don't know where his Bloodseeker is going. Is he safe lane? Is he mid lane?
I think they're going to pick KPI's hero after that too. So also.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
But now, like OGFI, they have to make a choice though. They're gonna have to pick a core hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Like,
I wonder if they can pick some sort of open core here.
they don't do that style though. They don't do like what you do or like what we might do. Like some Sanking or something. You don't know where he's going or whatever.
When you see this Night Stalker and Lich, that's what you asked earlier, right?
Nope.
Well, like, this is kind of okay, right? You can be, this Weaver can be with Lich, can be with like a lone bottom against anybody, so it's kind of in a way masking it, but not really.
Are you
Probably.
a fan of Weaver right now?
Am I a fan of Weaver? I think against certain matchups, like in
Like
lane, like bad, yeah. I think Weaver, if he has like a purpose where he's able to solo in a lane and win the lane and enable the supports to make moves on the map, then I think he's a very strong hero because he's very annoying to deal with. If you don't have the right heroes, he like actually gives so much space to like your team.
What are some of those heroes that Weaver would be worried about?
Well, I think Earthspirit's generally pretty decent versus Weaver. If Weaver ever gets a Linkens, he still ignores it. He has a stun and a silence. Maybe Weaver is actually pretty decent versus Bloodseeker since you can actually never rupture him.
It could be the other way around as well, right? So
yeah.
I actually feel a little weirded out by this Reaver pick because they don't have any stuns now either, and like it's actually gonna make their draft a little more claustrophobic. I guess I'm not sure how to call it. Like they're limited.
Yeah.
Axe is a very good pick against Reaver.
Well, they have actually, I think their heroes are actually pretty good against Weaver. If I'm looking at it
Yeah.
straight up, I think this is definitely a draft that if I was playing Weaver, I'd be a bit worried in.
Feels bad. Well done.
Yeah, you know,
When he's doing it for his team.
I want to echo the thing you were saying earlier. PPD has brought this up a lot, that the teams that have been very low on stuns have really struggled. The teams that have been low on initiators have really struggled. And if there's just not that many good ones left in the draft, I mean, Tidehunter's gone, Nyx is gone.
Bat Rider's gone. That's the most important one
Yeah.
for this and Puck, because they both would have been very nice. I wish I could see the hero list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can use the power of this laptop to get you that hero list.
Sounds good.
So what do you think for LFI? They still need 2 cores. I think they lack team fight. I feel like they need a stunner pretty badly right now.
Oh,
Well,
I mean, it's a good pick, but like
Yeah, this is team fight.
they need. I mean, they have Night Stalker, so even if they only have 1 jump, that's enough, honestly, because they will generally have the better vision, so they will be able to get the jump. And they have a Deuce who's gonna give vision just by running in.
They really need a jump, though.
Yeah, they'll probably get one, right? There's gonna be enough, like some Legion or something. Whatever.
Do you really fear NewBee's late game too, though? Like if NewBee plays a split push game and you have these kinds of heroes on LFY, are you even that worried?
Late game? No, you're not worried at all. When you pick this Lich, you're generally gonna go for his late game style because the hero just like armors the tower and you just stand behind the tower with your own ice armor and they can't push.
That's what I mean. I think a lot of times if I saw LFY's lineup, I'd be a little bit confused just because they can't really start a fight or anything like that, but they can counter the fight really well. There's not enough burst damage. Like you're gonna rupture this Medusa. It's not really gonna do too much. Even if you blink call somebody, Medusa just counter initiates with Stone Gaze. None of these 2 supports are too bursty. They're more long-term DPS over the course of a fight. And I think LFY actually matches up okay here.
There should be enough stuns left though. Like there should be a hero here. I can only think of Legion right now. I'm not sure if that's a pick though. It doesn't.
They banned
that good.
Void, so they're also thinking that LFI needs one of those jump heroes. They need somebody to use vision for them.
They still have Earthshaker in the pool.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Last pick Earthshaker?
Yeah.
Does that complete their lineup?
That'll be fine. They don't have any dagger farmers right now. Like
It's good against Axe too. If Axe jumps, you just stun him. Run away.
it's nice to have a dagger hero. Their lineup's not that greedy either. They can get away with a dagger farm.
Yeah. Every captain I've ever worked with just says you always need a way to start a fight.
Yeah.
Regardless of how well the game goes, if you can't start a fight, then
You just
your
need to
advantage
be able
doesn't
to,
matter.
like, when you put a ward down and you see them, they want to deward that ward, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be able to actually go on that person constantly and you'll kill him. Or else, if you don't have a way of actually initiating, like, clearly, then it becomes very hard to play. Like, the enemy feels like they can move around and take, like, control of the map.
You could do something like Legion though as well, like Envy said.
They banned it.
I think they should shake her here. I wouldn't recommend Legion against Dazzle Axe.
It's a bold pick, but they banned Anti-Mage, which kind of means, like...
Like Legion's better. Like you can't remove the call from Axe.
So what do you do? What do you have, like DS, Shaker?
Shaker, he's just there. He's just chilling. There you go.
The last pick Shaker.
Now, what about NewBee? When you look at this lineup, what can they do well right now, and what do they need?
So NewBee needs to make a decision of, they need to put this Bloodseeker mid. Probably not going to do that, so they're probably going to think of last pick hero for SEC.
You need to win this game in 25.
Yeah, so
I'm
thinking he's going to pick Sniper here.
So they need just an extremely strong mid laner to fare against the Medusa to set themselves up for a...
I mean, the way that NewBee plays is they want SEC's hero to have a kill potential on the enemy mid. Like, if Kaka rolls in on his Earth Spirit and Faith comes in with Dazzle, and they all like converge on this middle lane. They want SCC's hero to be able to actually assist in that and kill and help kill quickly.
Sniper is a very good pick.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, sure, he's against a nice Stalker, but who cares, honestly? Like, they don't have other heroes that can come hit him.
I mean, you can protect him too with Dazzle.
There we go. Sniper.
Yep.
Strong reads. Wow.
I mean,
Comments.
I think SCC sees this like Deuce matchup, and he's like, yeah, give me Sniper because he won't do anything to me.
Well, seen Sniper do well before. Will it be able to succeed again? NewBee versus LFY. Game 1 of the winners bracket finals begins now.
Thank you very much, and indeed, winners bracket finals. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Fogged. We've got the beautiful LFY against the incredible NewBee. We've seen the lineups. The crowd here today is looking absolutely phenomenal. The arena is absolutely packed.
It is jam-packed, all the way to the top.
We're going to get some incredible Dota here. There's no doubt about it. These final picks right up until them. SCCC, we saw him debut with the sniper on the main stage. He's looking to do it again. And that last pick, as mentioned by MV, he knew it was going to come out.
Yep.
Artbu grabbing the shape. It's a confident end to LFY's draft.
Yeah, so they are going to be running offlane Night Stalker then. So that is a change-up. They have not ran that here. I was looking at it before. I don't believe that at any stages. Maybe in one of the group stage games, didn't get to scroll through all of them, but big change-up there. Getting that Earthshaker last pick. LFY has a very late game center lineup, while NewBee looked to favor more for the laning aspect. But like the panel said, NewBee is on a bit of a timer here, unless SCCC is just able to get incredibly farmed in that mid lane, which could happen. I mean, he's versus dudes, so he doesn't really care too much versus that hero.
I mean, so overall, do you have a draft that you prefer out of the two of them?
Oh, yeah, LFY. LFY's looks pretty damn good. They have the ways to delay the game with the Lich armor, for the Dusa. Dusa kind of just stands your ground. You get, ideally versus with a Bloodseeker, you want to pick it versus like something right away you see Lycan, something that you counter. But now they have a Medusa. You're up here. Just stands there, just like it can be a bit tough right now for NewBee, but we'll see if they're able to get away with the lanes and snowball off that.
And let's see what sort of lanes we do get out of it at the start. See if we see anything sort of switch up. Maybe even as we've seen time and time again, DDC and Inflame grouping up together to run some sort of a dual lane aggressively. And there we go, the Chinese memes coming out there with the good luck boss, directed of course straight to young Inflame.
A lot of respect for each other, these two teams. I was chatting with Jack about it just before the game started, and he was like, yeah, these two, I've played each other so many times. NewBee has an immense amount of respect for LFY, as vice versa as well.
Yeah, and I think as the panel was saying, well, overall, as the record, normally LFY, the ones to come out on top over these two. So a massive series, of course, for both of them, looking for that direct, moving forward towards the grand finals here at the International 2017.
So the couple last, I think yesterday and even the day before that, I saw a lot of this Earth Spirit Bloodseeker duo. These two can actually cause so much ruckus in the laning phase. We saw that incredible performance by Baboka when he was playing that. If you can identify when the lanes start moving, he has to see where the Earthshake's going and try to punish those weak lanes as the Earth Spirit. But the thing is that he doesn't really have the best kills, like kill lanes, right? You look at the heroes, he has the only one that he can really go on is with the sniper. The other lanes are just not really the greatest to make the rotations until they get more levels on. So he needs to time his rotations once the Axe gets like a call up, once the Dazzle has a couple levels too. He needs to be a bit patient on the Earth Spirit this game.
And it'll be interesting to see how much attention LFY put towards that mid lane to try and give Super that start against the SCCC sniper, because in this matchup, 1v1, it can become a bit of an issue for the Medusa in the early levels, can't it?
Yeah, a little bit. The sniper just doesn't really care. You're never going to really get hit by a snake unless you're out of position. But it's LFY. It's with Super. They're just like, Super, good luck. You got your matchup. Have fun.
Yeah, an incredibly solid mid laner.
We'll come there once or twice, but other than that, you're going to be left alone in this game. So we look at the wards coming out from both teams. This is one of the big things that a lot of these Chinese teams have been doing, how much they emphasize in the early warding game. Pulls blocked all over the place, double pull block as well.
Look at this up top already, making a bit of a go onto DDC. They have the roll connection and the battle hunger. Not enough to get the kill.
Yeah, they swapped the lanes up actually. They put in the Bloodseeker versus the Weaver matchup, and they want the Bloodseeker to pretty much be avoiding this Night Stalker Lich duo so we can get farm. KP can get farm anyway as an Axe there. But there's actually no pulls available for him to be able to, get more levels on the Earth Spirit and the Axe. So they're going to suffer a lot versus that Lich Night Stalker.
So overall, out of all the lanes, you think that's going to be the most one-sided affair until the movements come through?
Yeah, top lane. They're just going to pull it back over and over again, and with this Night Stalker Lich, and they should be able to punish quite heavily versus Axe Earth Spirit. Dual melee versus Night Stalker, one of the strongest melees, and with Lich backup.
Yeah, Inflame there just going in, giving Kaka a right bit of harassment, and very little that KP can do to pull him off at this stage, just with the level 1. That 1 point in Battle Hunger.
Kaka is now going to be able to find that D ward, so they will have a pull open in the next 30 seconds or so. Super important in this lane. They cannot get the lane back into their favor whatsoever versus this Lich Night Stalker if they don't have those pulls up.
Yeah, other lanes, I mean, bottom lane, Monet certainly struggling with the superior CSing potential of this Bloodseeker, as we can see 8 for 2 on Mugi compared to just the 3 on Monet. Mugi's starting to push the wave in, and with the backup of Faith, I mean, this lane as well, for NewBee down here, this Bloodseeker's going to feel incredibly safe and confident.
Yeah, pretty similar kind of situation as top. It's just now the Weaver will always get a bit more because the lane is going to be pushing into him all the time from that Dazzle heal that does come out. And they only, it's like Shaker Weaver. They can isolate once they get a Fissure block if the Dazzle's out of position, but they need a couple levels on that Weaver first for the Swarm to add up with the Geminate.
Looking towards the mid lane. For the time being, it's been incredibly even. Kaka to come in with the roll, trying to see if they can at least harass Super out. This would be nice for SCCC. See if he can now break himself ahead a bit. On the CS so far, 8 for 10 on the Sniper, 8 for 7. An incredibly even mid lane matchup in terms of not just heroes, but of course skill as well between these two
that one's
players.
Massive trade farm lane. As long as the Sniper doesn't get hit by snakes, which he shouldn't, so.
Super's got to be careful there.
Yeah, Kaka's staying in the area. Only level 1 still, but making the committed roll. They still got Shrapnel.
That's Super. That's got the shield up, of course.
Should be fine.
And he's still got the salve available, so should be able to stick around. Duty does. But yeah, definitely the presence of this Spirit starting to create a bit of a lead here for SCCC in the mid lane.
Kaka's level 2 now, trying to keep that consistent harassment up on that mid lane. Can't really, like we said, that's the only lane that he can pressure really at this point. Once he gets more levels up online, then they can start going for maybe some support kills if they catch people out of position, but the rest of their heroes don't really do that just yet. It's really just playing around the Sniper.
Bottom lane as well. Are you a little surprised that Arfu hasn't been able to do much more in terms of trying to keep this Bloodseeker away from the free farm? Because as we're seeing, he's sitting at the top of the CS, and this bottom lane is going beautifully for NewBee.
Well, the thing is that the pull is blocked again. That's what we were talking about. The wards in these early games for these Chinese teams are so important because they're just trying to maximize the farm and maximize their levels as best as possible. They can't really threaten the Dazzle lane with the dual lane. There's just so much heal, so much sustain coming out of it. So he can't pull too much. Now he does. He's able to get 1 pull and a stack off at least. So that's going to help LFY's bottom lane a lot.
As you see there in the river, Arca getting eyes onto DDC. They did bring SCCC along as well, but not quite the catch for this Lich.
First nighttime, see if they're going to be able to do anything. The Earth Spirit leaving the top lane is actually really benefiting NewBee. That Axe is just free farming pretty much up there, and with the pull starting to open up too, he's going to be able to accelerate his farming growth. It is nighttime now though, so we're going to see what can happen off of that.
So a bit of harassment there onto DDC. In fact, KP will get the call off. Inflame's there though, in time to keep the Axe off the Lich. I guess this is the thing as well about the offlane Night Stalker. It's great in terms of getting levels and farm, but if he does start to make those movements during the night, it becomes a bit more obvious. And
yes.
NewBee've got more time to prepare for it.
Definitely. Make TP responses very quickly though, which is a nice thing. They actually see Faith rotating with this ward here. They might be able to pincer him. Afu getting the fissure block.
This could set up for something very tasty. They're bringing Super over as well. In terms of lockdown, it's not quite there with just the level 2 on the Shaker.
Yeah. Just an annoying fissure block, that's all. It's really up to Afu making all the rotations with this Earthshaker, but like we said, there's not really great kill lanes. Pretty passive lanes coming out from both teams.
Overall, though, the passiveness certainly favoring NewBee, no doubt about that. When you look at the CS that's been found, mid lane again, Kaka looking for the roll in onto Super. With the 2 points in mana shield, very, very hard to go upon and get the kill.
You see, LFY understands that this is the only threatening lane at the moment too. They put wards down first nighttime, all around Super, just making sure that he can get as much as possible. They know Kaka's going to play around there.
Then again, making another bit of a roll in. Now Super a little low on the mana. They do get the kickback, and into the hands of SCCC and Kaka, they should be able to bring him down.
Got him.
First, but I mean, this mid lane, it's an absolute beauty. Look at the CS on this Sniper. 29, 26 denies in the first 6 minutes. Insane laning here from SCCC.
Making the early game work exactly what they need to do. Level 6 now on the Sniper. They're going to be able to go for more kills like that. I like Kaka's persistence there. He didn't try making moves to the top lane. Didn't try making moves bottom. He understands this mid lane is the one that I can get kills in. Doesn't work once, try again. Doesn't work that time, keep trying that because that's the one that they need to be pressuring.
I'm looking at this bottom lane as well, and Monet also incredibly struggling with the CS.
Yeah, he
in
is.
comparison to Mugi. It's just continued from the start. 38-13 against the 18 for 3. I do feel, though, that we've seen this before. You know, LFY in their game sometimes not necessarily the best in the lanes in terms of getting the farm. It's their movements, it's their coordination as a team that brings them together after the early stages. But this is a massive boost for NewBee to be coming out of a laning stage with this sort of farm being traded, favoring themselves.
They actually have a ward already placed, expecting that nice second movement from top. SCC shouldn't really get brought out from this one. He did see the rotation coming in.
It's got Kaka in the neighborhood as well, so Kaka will be able to offer some sort of save, and there's the silence. In fact, they could literally try and turn with the shrapnel down, boulder smash as well. Kaka's got to be careful though. Super throws out the snake. Kaka will go down. Inflame moving in, and with the silence, they've got to be careful with the sniper. Is he going to be able to get the chance to get the ult off? He is.
But TP's coming out. Oh!
Not quite there though.
That decision making, you see how he turns to get the silence off, so he gets the increased miss rate on the sniper as well, plus the void. In some situations there, you might see Nightstalker just like try to run away and end up dying because of the assassinate, but the way that he does that is actually so precise. Split-second survival.
Very, very good call from LFY to make. Starting to alleviate the pressure a little bit that's been put on to Super on his mid lane, Medusa. Now Kakra coming down to join Faith on the bottom lane. Has the levels.
Mid lane.
And again, yeah, I mean, they need to TP someone over. They will indeed. Dazzle is on the way. Arfu trying to dive in deeper. But
Arfu's too deep.
He's got to get out of there. And I don't know if he can. He'll throw out the Fisher. Does connect onto 2. Trying to bring their CC low with the enchant totem. But the shrapnel's too much.
Shrapnel early game. Something that one of the most powerful slows with those 3 charges. They have expended all 3 now though, but we'll have them back quite soon. Yeah, all 3 lanes looking pretty damn good for NewBee now. With those rotations from Kaka.
And Kaka's on the hunt. He's down here under the cover of the invis. As we can see, all 3 top of the net worth, the 3 cores of NewBee. No surprise there, considering what we've seen from this laning stage. This invis rune could be pretty big. If they can get Mugi over, he has got Rupture. There should be a good opportunity for NewBee to try for the kill, and indeed, here we go. There's the smash. Rupture's down. Monet, he's just going to go for the straight TP out. It's a smart move, and it's going to save him.
Wow. Yeah, really smart.
Very good calls here from LFY, knowing exactly when to back out and knowing the lack of control and lockdowns there for NewBee.
NewBee's coming out super far ahead in this laning phase though. We touched on, the panel was saying it, NewBee drafted for lanes. That was their big picks there. While LFY has more of a grand scheme of things. If the game goes late, if they're able to turtle it up with that Lich, with that Medusa, they can have an incredibly strong team fight. But for now, it's still very passive coming out from LFY, trying to make those 1 rotations. It's only the Nightstalker who can't do it so far. Afu doesn't have a partner with that Lich, who's a very static hero. That's what we mentioned a lot about the Lich. If they can make moves all around the map from NewBee, he can't really respond. Faith getting gone on, but this is a level 5 Dazzle already.
He should be fine. He does have the Grave, and indeed Monet. He's not going to waste his time diving upon that, especially with Mugi in the neighborhood. Up top, bit of a go on to KP, but KP just makes the call, tries to look to get the spinners off, turns towards Inflame, bring them down low here with the spins, but now the silence is upon him. DDC and Inflame trying to cut him out, but Inflame, he's got to be careful how close he gets. And now with the TP over from Faith, the backup's going to be there if KP is dived upon. Arfu maybe looking to move around as well. They do have the 3 members here. LFY thinking about making the play. Actually, double ops there.
Oops.
I mean, that's a bit of an awkward one.
That's painful. That'll hurt them.
I bet they blame the lag for that. Bottom lane.
Kaka's able to set up with the stun silence. I touched on it. Like that Bloodseeker or Spirit, if they can see the opportunities when the rotations happen from the other team, they can kill almost any lane. It's such a strong combo.
Things certainly looking up for NewBee. 10 minutes in to have this 4K lead against LFY of all teams. It's got to be feeling pretty good inside the NewBee booth for the moment.
Yeah, their lane decision is really what's causing this to happen.
Should be in trouble here. Arfu's there as well. Has the Fish of Faith. No chance to do anything in reaction, LFY. Pick off the Dazzle. 4 members at the moment up here on this top lane. We'll see if they can get anything else done. Starting to put a bit of pressure on as well as Monet moves forward.
Yeah, having this axe just sitting top when they did that Bloodseeker Dazzle lane bottom was just genius. I don't think it was expected by LFY. So it's really hurting them, and NewBee's getting further and further ahead in this game. Big situation is going to be when KP gets that Blink Dagger on the axe, and he's getting there already. He's got Ring of Health with boots and 800 gold away on that axe. Very good start.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get that and NewBee can start to move around, I mean, just even with the Axe and the Bloodseeker trying to invade LFY's jungle, keep tabs on Super's Medusa, they are going to be in a perfect spot, especially considering the farm that SCC's got. I think we just looked and he's very, very close to having a Maelstrom.
Yeah, almost treads Maelstrom already with Aquila. Continuing some pressure onto Super.
What's that Monet should be able to get the tower here. KP's going to try and play around with him. First call, is he going to catch him there? He saves it for the second one. Faith with the
and they get him.
Beautiful execution there from NewBee. Absolutely perfect. We saw KP there teasing around with the call. Catches him in the second. Very, very nicely done. At the same time, Mugi gets the final touch onto that bottom tier 1 tower.
And LFY they're in some serious trouble, to be honest. This Weaver is very, very shut down. Half of the net worth of the sniper at the moment already. And it's only 12 minutes in.
And with KP having that money now for the blink, I mean, as we've just seen, if he just gets a call on this Weaver with a +1, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill every time. Up top, NewBee. Be careful, LFY have moved over. Inflame and Arfu looking for some action. KP's down there. Rather hard target to go for, especially with Faith in the neighborhood. We'll drop down the weed. They'll throw out the chain frost. He's going for the TPI. He's not going to make it, though. Arfu from the high ground with the Fisher. Enough to shut down KP. Now they look to try and get more out of it. The tier 1, of course, already gone. Faith, nowhere to run. He has got the Grave. Does have the TP, but realizes that there's no chance of getting out with the potential of the Void, the stuns from Arfu, and Inflame will clean up a double kill off the back of that play.
Monet could be in trouble bottom. Kaka's invis on top of him.
Got the silence. They have the full control. No, he gets the chance to
Saving
get the time on top.
Trying to save the stun for that TP thing, but the TP's actually on cooldown. Kaka now able to throw the stun out.
Mone's got to be careful. Did stand in place there with that Shikuchi trying to fight back.
Actually survives, not taking that much rupture damage because of the way he just stood still. Very well played by Monet.
One, of course, SCCC finding the stack here, helping Mugi bring it down.
Oh yeah, that was a quad stack that had been down there earlier.
Big one. Inflame's back in the neighborhood though. Is on his own. We'll see what he can do in terms of rest. I mean, the Void there's a lot of damage. And again, TP seeming to be the aim of the game. Straight out, and Mugi's back to safety. Starting to get some kills, LFY. Still though, NewBee maintaining the overall lead.
They've got the blink, they've got the quick initiation now, and they've got a pretty good warder situation going on. Gonna be able to catch Inflame here.
Away. In with the jump, the damage from SCCC and Faith, too much for Inflame to deal with. The dunk will come a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill nonetheless. SCCC now on a killing spree, maintaining that top spot.
You can tell they're feeling pressure too because the itemization that's coming out from the Night Stalker. He's gonna be going for just phase, drum, earn all early game items so he can try to alleviate all this pressure that's being caused by NewBee. He needs to be the one to pretty much make all the space for that Medusa and for that Weaver to kind of come back. Monet is super shut down this game, as we were mentioning. Medusa's starting to catch up though, slowly but surely. Almost has the Blade Mail finished up. And that's like their big kind of team fight they've rounded together. Off the top.
Yeah, he's going to try and throw out Official. Will hold back SCCC, but now looking for the boulder smash, won't connect. But the Assassinate, bam, it will not quite enough though.
Oh, and the raindrop blocks the damage from the pull from Kaka.
The Shrine activated as well, keeping that Shaker alive. Arfu, incredibly lucky there to get away with his life.
Insane amount of damage already coming out from SCCC with that Maelstrom build. Already going into a Dragon Lance next.
Look at this as well, Mugi just 300 away from having the relic for his Radiance. LFY smoking up, AP in the neighborhood, but he has a lot of backup. SCCC's there. Karkar definitely the one to be most alone at the moment, and LFY will spot him out. I don't know if he can play his way out. He has got the silence and the smash, also the roll, but he's got 10 one charges as well. Looks like he won't get the chance to use them though. Arfu has the control. LFY taking down Kaka, and that's going to put Arfu very close to having the money for his own Blink Dagger. 2k gold at the moment on the Shaker.
Yeah, he might just save for that. That's another thing that could do bring his cores back in the game is him just rushing that very early Blink rather than getting any small items.
Fame.
Got eyes on SCCC. He knows he's in the area, it seems.
Faith is also very close towards that mid lane. Will have a chance to come in for a reaction. Trying to go in onto SCCC, but now the backup comes in. Mass TPs, KP and the gang ready to return. Roll for Kaka, won't get the connection. Looks for the boulder smash. It's going to be off the mark as well as Inflame gets himself across the tree line. At the end of the day, a bit of a bait there as it looks like they'll all get out.
Super's ruptured now too and isolated.
With the blood right upon him and pop the blade mail. Does get the stone gaze out in time. Now looks like, is it enough to keep them off? Boulder smash comes in, KP actually jumps in, gets the call. Roll for from Kaka with the magnetize out though as well. They're trying to turn, Chain Frost only connecting once onto Mugi. A second blood right comes out, Super's stuck in the midst of it. Super's down. At the same time, though, they will lose SCCC as Inflame and Monet moved onto him on the backlines. They'll now turn towards Vega. KP's back in, gets the call, has the control there onto Monet, holding the Weaver back, but Arfu with a two-man Fisher trying to turn. Mugi's brought down, they've got the double kill on Monet, and they're not done yet, LFY. They're moving in for more. KP looking to tease round, gets the call onto the Night Stalker, but Arfu and DDC still outside the range of it. Coming back in with Monet, pick up another.
They had to spend so much to try to bring down this Medusa. The backlines actually just come in and flank SCCC, the Weaver and the Night Stalker, able to just kind of pierce the backlines, and that's what comes out. The majority of the damage is going to be coming out from the sniper in this instances, so Medusa takes a little bit too long to get brought down, and LFY with a huge comeback win here.
I mean, as you said, beautifully split up that fight down to LFY's execution. We'll see it on the map as well. You'll see how the rest of them go straight up to the high ground, ignore this position that Super's in. Because a lot of NewBee, they focus straight for Super. They really want to bring down this Medusa, but everyone else, Dazzle and Weaver, they've got a Dazzle and the Sniper, sorry, they've got a Weaver, they've got a Night Stalker on their hands.
That's with NewBee using their defensive shrine there as well, while the Weaver and the Night Stalker were running at them. So the part that we can't see on the screen, Dazzle actually gets a grave on the Sniper, they use the shrine, but the fact that they were able to just pierce into that backline with the Night Stalker and Weaver was everything that wins that fight for LFY there.
This is exactly the sort of plays that we've been used to seeing from LFY. They may sometimes fall behind in the laning stage, but their shot calling, their playmaking in the chaos of these team fights just seems to be unmatched.
And that was pre-Earthshaker Blink Dagger, who now also has Arcane Boots finished up right afterwards. So it's only 18 minutes in, he's got both of these picked up somehow. Afu just finds the items. Now with Echo Slam ready to go, they can look for another type of commitment. However, it is daytime and there's no darkness available just yet, so maybe wanted to hold off on that one just for a moment. Monet getting closer and closer to that defusal now after that fight. Pretty much got himself 2,000 gold from that like 2-minute situation that happened. NewBee now waiting for that Radiance, and now the darkness is online with that Blink Dagger. LFY is looking to get on the aggressive.
They certainly are.
They can
got the opportunity to do so though.
Instantly blow somebody up pretty much now with that Echo Slam, and if the Night Stalker can get in range with Lich.
Yugi wouldn't be a bad target at all. Not quite there with the full Radiance. A few hundred more for the recipe. Any sort of setback for the Bloodseeker will be great news for LFY.
Either core, that's what they want right now, the Sniper or the Bloodseeker. Axe is okay, but it's either that kills or a kill that's on a support or something to lead into a tower. But ideally they want one of those big cores. Kaka shows face bottom in flame.
Maybe the kill that they just settled for. They don't see any other opportunity, but Kaka's aware. As soon as that darkness comes out, he is out of there. No messing around from this Earth Spirit.
They're able to pressure tower off of this though, so it's at least an objective that's going to come through that smoke and darkness that was used. And the nighttime is in about, I think it was at 20, so it's about 45 more seconds afterwards. So once that darkness does end, it's going to be night anyway, and it's going to be LFY continuing to try that pressure. NewBee still finishing up some items, as we were mentioning. The Vanguard soon finished on Axe, and Radiance is done now on Bloodseeker. So they've got some decent timings coming out too. Radiance is quite nice versus, of course, the Earthshaker Blink if he's able to get in range, but good versus the miss rate of the Weaver and Medusa.
KP and Fate ready to go with the gang. CCC and Mugi joining in as well. Kaka hiding in the tree line. LFY have moved away from this bottom lane push. Monet, as you mentioned, now with the completed defusal.
You feel NewBee was feeling some pressure after that fight, though. You look at their jungle, and they placed 4 defensive sentries trying to find out the vision from LFY. The vision game is a huge aspect when you're playing versus these Night Stalkers, as we always touch upon. Now mid. Super. Posted up on the tower.
Do they want to make this jump, NewBee? It could be hard coming out this far, especially with that Earthshaker, the Blink, the Echo Slam ready to react.
Monet was trying to bait them with this illusion, it seemed. Walking it up, but getting hit by the shrapnel, the blood rain, they get cleared out quickly. But tower actually gets denied by SCCC there.
Nice little peep shot there from SCCC.
Cute.
And still, both teams keeping themselves well aware and away from each other.
Making their way actually into the Roche pit with the Swarm. Makes it a lot easier to be able to bring it down. And Medallion also finished up on Inflame. This one might actually go down unexpected here for NewBee.
I mean, there's no wards at all around this area for NewBee. LFY full control of this.
Oh, this is what we were talking about. You know, NewBee had this incredibly good laning start.
Yep.
LFY, their team fight, their just the way that they know how to take fights and their objective timings. Oh boy.
Monet with the Aegis in hand. NewBee certainly are going to have to think twice about looking for that fight that they were trying for earlier. That Aegis in mind.
This is an Aegis that they can take fights with, but it's more of those. It's a kind of stalling one too, because all the LFY wants to do is take this game later and later with their draft, with that Medusa.
What's the play now for NewBee? LFY pushing in this top lane.
They have such a fear factor now. They don't want to make any aggressive plays into an Aegis.
This game over the last 5 minutes or so has suddenly become so scary for NewBee. You can see it there on the net worth, a real swing around there as LFY take the lead
Dire's top
and
tower
continue
is
to
under
progress
Dire's
this
structures
advantage that they have against NewBee at this stage. Grouping up, pushing down lanes. NewBee themselves starting to head towards the bottom, see if they can maybe get some sort of a trade here for LFY's movements. As LFY will take this tier 2. No response from NewBee.
Radiant's
And still being very, very careful in this bottom lane, not wanting to actually go in onto that tier 2. Still aware that LFY can very easily defend and hold these objectives.
Very methodical from both teams, just trying to play around those timings. Play away from that Aegis, now NewBee's going to start farming those BKBs to be able to try to deal with that Earthshaker, because the fissures and the lockdown have an issue with the smoke. Actually, gets seen by LFY. They know this is happening.
See if we can get this jump. And Monet has the Aegis, they will get the initial call, they've got to bring him down twice. Bottas matches the heal bomb, that's him gone once. Can they do it a second
LFY
time,
trying to fight here, though.
Yeah, LFY ready to go back in. Chain Frost is there, good bounces as well between the three of them. In fact, it bounces back. They couldn't quite split up enough. KP does get great.
Chain Frost.
Can he actually get out? I don't think he can, because on the sideline, there's the jump in. Arfu with the Echo Slam straight in. Onto STCC, the Fisher as well. Onto 2, Arfu picks up the double kill.
Monet will get cleaned up in the back, though, by Mugi. Inflame just sees the dazzle for 1 second, it flies over with the 109, and just stands on top of him, unable for him to really get a good positioning in the fight.
middle tower.
And straight away with that favorable trade there for LFY, they'll continue to move down mid, get some pressure onto this tier 2.
They're lacking ways to get into the fight now, because even if the Axe gets that call, they can get that kill, but the fact that there's an Aegis there, everyone else just, they use the Trum right away from the Night Stalker, and they just literally beeline it. That was a pretty fortunate Chain Frost as well. Just NewBee unable to split up from that
It
one.
looked like it was just on the verge of not being able to bounce back, but
Yeah.
we see it again. I mean, they can very quickly bring down this Weaver. The problem is just this reinitiation.
Look how they all have to
LFY.
disperse in
I mean,
completely
look at the
different
range that
areas.
it comes back in there. You would have
Yeah.
thought it wasn't going to bounce back.
That's the cool thing about like Lich with Night Stalker, actually. Everybody kind of disperse their own ways, and it gives Inflame a lot of opportunity just to be like, oh, I can isolate this Dazzle up in the corner just because everyone has to avoid the Chain Frost. So I really like the synergy coming out from those two.
Excellent Echo Slam as well from Arfu.
Yeah.
As soon as he sees SCC back up the lane, get next to those creeps, he's straight on them. And already they're maybe looking to make some more plays. They're smoked up on the side of it. Arfu coming in, does get the Fisher connection onto Kaka. Moving in, does still have the backup of Faith though. This Earth Spirit, not that easy to go up on. Sentry's down. Faith will be able to keep Kaka alive. And now though, Mugi on the sidelines drops the Rupture. KP with the Berserker's call.
The
Trying
Chain
to
Frost
finish
again.
it. Again, indeed. This Frost making them split up. NewBee are forced back. They can't finish off the kill. And on the sidelines, Monet was able to finish off Faith. Now LFY moving in for more. The Fisher blocks there onto KP. He's gone. A second kill for LFY. Now Fu, he's not done. Jumps forward, looks to block off Kaka. SCCC will turn, will peep off the Arfu Earthshaker. But again, NewBee.
Oh, Mugi gets caught.
Mugi out. Trying to TP back to the base outside the front door of it.
So much chase for LFY. As soon as that drum gets popped and the Chain Frost happens, it's like the whole fight just gets completely changed up.
And just beautiful how well Arfu just leads the direction of the fight, constantly moving on to the next target, setting it up for his teammates to back up and finish it off with him. LFY 14-8. I mean, as we said, that laning stage, nothing more than just a memory now for NewBee. As this Super Medusa climbing ahead, top of the graph, and there he is, Arfu, making a real name for himself here at this year's International. All the way right up to this game. Kill participation, 100%. I mean, his average kill participation through the tournament, 85%, incredibly high. Just goes to show how well Arfu's been playing.
Yeah, him and Inflame are monsters. Inflame as well. You see he's 3-1 and 11. He's involved in all 14 kills as well, which we've seen coming out from both these guys throughout all of their games. They're always doing the heavy lifting, enabling their cores.
Radiant are scanning.
BKB now up for SCCC. So the threat of Arfu certainly limited as long as SCCC can get that BKB off at the start of the fight and look to just sort of wait on KP's initiation, sit back, get the damage out.
LFY always just playing around the nighttime, so playing around their vision game as they should be with with the big initiator like an Earthshaker, and with Nightsaker able to be just an incredibly good hero versus Dazzle at all stages of the game. They're content with waiting until that happens. They do have Darkness though in case any fight does emerge.
Full staff as well now for KP. A very crucial item considering how good Arfu's been with his Fisher blocks. Getting his team or himself away from the grasp of LFY.
Yeah, they have to get, I mean, 4-steps are always going to be good versus any type of lockdowns or any like, diffusal blades and stuff. You can just peel away a bit. Need as many of those as possible. And here we go, Darkness. Just before it's about 50 seconds until nighttime's going to be hitting too. So Darkness right before that happens so that they go into a very long 4-minute night lull period afterwards where they're going to have all the advantage.
The last few seconds though, that ward in the mid lane will give them the info that they need. NewBee know that this is coming as they back right up towards their base. Kaka's got to be careful how far he comes out though with the Fisher. Try and tease a bit of an initiation, but still NewBee very, very well prepared for this one. They saw it come through.
LFY's so good at playing around that vision game, though, as we're saying. All of them pushing it just to the limit, but here we go, the engagement comes out on Super.
He's going to try and drag it back here. Super also forced very deep into the hands of NewBee. They'll silence him up, but he just stands his ground, looking for the tier 2. Blade mails out, limiting what NewBee can do towards him. Now popping the Stone Gaze. NewBee back off.
Starting to drop very low.
In fact, it might just get him with the Blood Bright.
Oh, he's dead.
He is certainly gone. KP comes in for the finishing blow. That's a massive kill for NewBee to take there. Not work for LFY at all, and in fact with the Yule Scepter they may just get more. Look at what DDC is trying to get the Chain Frost out. The first stone comes through, he's going to hold back the ultimate, knows it won't do anything now. As NewBee get a second, and they're not done yet. KP seeing if he could get a grab onto Monet, but he is out of there.
That was all along the backs of the aggressive 4-step coming up from KP.
Yeah.
Put Super in such an awkward position. LFY didn't want to dive past those towers.
And they got a tier 2, but certainly not worth there for LFY. Losing Super, a massive kill for NewBee to take. Now NewBee themselves can look to pick up some map control. We'll clear up the tier 1 in the mid lane. Holman into the bank of SCCC as he himself looking to get that Hurricane Pipe. An extra bit of force potential to help shift himself and his team around.
If they can ever just peel the fight from the sniper, that's where NewBee shines. Because then they can even, if he's not getting hit by anything, they can even throw Blood Rage on him. And a Blood Rage sniper, some of those team fights, if they're not on top of him, he'll just be destroying LFY. And with those BKBs finished up, they have a good way to actually make that space for the sniper to do that in the fights.
And as always, of course, Faith's positioning been absolutely fantastic on this Dazzle. Despite Inflame, as we see his best efforts on the Night Stalker. Faith has to be so careful. It's such a terrifying game to play the Dazzle in.
Yeah.
With this Night Stalker constantly making a beeline for you. He's always got the Frost Armor upon him. So very little that you can do to get him out. You've just got to hope that you can get the spells out before him. And that as the Dazzle, you are right behind your teammates. So they can back you up and ensure that you can survive through these fights and get off the clutch graves as Faith has been.
Next big fight will probably be around that Roche. We see LFY actually picks up a gem just to clear out some of that vision before that engagement can happen.
Radiant are scanning.
I got the Lincoln Sphere finished on 1-8. So we'll feel a little safer from that dunk potential and the rupture, of course.
They've got a Eul's finished up now too on Afu. This is one of the best items actually to get versus Axe. Because as soon as the Axe blinks and calls, you just throw them in the air and then you'll leave you a lot of the damage that's going to be coming out.
Kaka's got an Invis rune here. See if he can set anything up. He's looking towards Super.
They've got a gem though.
LFY, and indeed they see him straight away. The gem is revealed. NewBee not quite expecting LFY to have that one picked up yet. And it will warrant them a kill straight off the bat.
And the Roche is up, and that's 40 seconds without him. They could maybe try to go for something here. NewBee's going to start throwing spells in there, some Blood Rights, some Shrapnels.
I mean, they do still have good fight potential around the pit, but with a man down, it is risky. There's no doubt about that.
They're trying to take the fight instead first, while Kaka's dead. Aggressive cleave though, they're all losing a lot of armor here.
Got the Yules onto KP. Fisher up with the Blood Bright down, puts LFY off and moving up the high ground to look for more.
They had the Butterfly being delivered too
that.
now for the Medusa, so with that level 20 as well, so he gets the plus 600 mana and a full Butterfly, just became incredibly durable. Now double evasion stack as well, and they've got a Solar Crest on top. They can actually make this Medusa be sitting pretty sure over like around 60% evasion rate with that butterfly evasion talent and solar crest.
LFY again in the tree line. Waiting for NewBee to poke their head out. KP will jump forward to clear the wave, and now LFY looking to go and get the silence. Immediately with the force, gets himself away from the Fissure. Now the Rupture onto Super, but can they kill him? He's got the Blade Mail out. Chain Frost bouncing back to Kaka. Kaka's gone. Down for 50. Super's got to be careful though with the Rupture still upon him. Arfu on the back lines holding KP back, making sure that there's no chance for the Axe to get in on it. Echo Slam as well. Arfu and Inflame teaming up, tag teaming down the Axe. KP's gone, and now Fate's in trouble as well. Trying for the Shallow Grave TP out. Do they have any cancel? They don't. Fate will escape.
Now they go for the rush. They wanted to take that fight like we were talking about. They've run to just beeline up there. The Medusa, no fear. With that extra durability that he gets from level 20, he's just way too tanky. He also got Blood Rage, and I think when he got the kill on Kaka, he healed up as well, so that made NewBee not want to go in. Yeah, free rush now, and that's Aegis Cheese with a superior late game lineup that we were talking about from LFY.
Yeah, LFY hitting their timings perfectly. And again, I mean, we're seeing it time and time again. They're so good in these fights and knowing the targets. You see straight away looking for the Axe, but immediately Arfu, he cares about one thing. He cares about KP getting in on the action. And he holds himself back, and just towards the top right, you can see there immediately. As soon as KP tries to go for the Battle Hunger to stop Arfu from being able to blink in, Arfu straight in with the Yule Scepter. Him and Inflame keep KP out of the fight, and the rest of NewBee just have to scatter and try and get themselves back to base.
So what happens when you're playing versus Night Stalker, a lot of times, you know, you want to take these engagements like that, but it ends up being like sloppy because your initiator gets grabbed first, and then he just gets locked down because you always see where he is inside of the fights. So NewBee needs to have, of course, the Axe get those fights. For him to start the fights with Kaka to follow up, but playing around that vision is extremely difficult.
I mean, as you said, just the fact that this Medusa is so massive, super
farmed, yeah.
looking pretty much unkillable at this stage unless NewBee can really rip the team up out of him apart from around this Medusa when they go for these 5-man plays. But as we've seen, in the state that they are at the moment, it's become incredibly hard for them to do.
Yeah, the only real damage is coming out from Mugi and from the sniper, so they have to, the Bloodseeker at least has to run all the way into Medusa, and all that happens is the Stone Gaze gets popped, and there's no way you can do damage there while the sniper is scared, because as soon as you pop BKB, the threat of a Night Stalker running in or an Earthshaker Fissure coming out afterwards is there.
MKB that's coming out next for SCCC, obviously, an absolute necessity.
Needs way too much evasion on this Medusa. We're going to see Super going for that very tanky build that we always do see, the Eye of Scotty next, after that Manta Butterfly.
Things again slowing down, but as we've been saying, this is always going to favor this LFY lineup.
Yeah, and they've, I mean, with Aegis Cheese too, they're feeling pretty damn strong, and this is where Monet gets to catch up, because he's still not really farming as we usually see Monet have those games. Like only 3-3, he did get pressured super hard, had an impossible lane matchup as well. But he's on the road to recovery, and it's the Medusa that's the head honcho.
And again, LFY with the darkness, looking to invade NewBee's half of the map. See how far around they want to come.
Invis on Afu too. He's looking for something.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like they won't come too far over. I mean, at the most, just making sure the space is there for Super to start to power down this bottom lane. Look to take down this tier 2, and he'll take it. All tier 2's now gone, 35 minutes into the game. LFY continuing to maintain incredible control in this game 1. The best of 3 series here in the winner bracket final.
And that was where the discipline and the methodical win kind of starts to brew itself. Not want to take any risks, even though they have Aegis Cheese. They can just let the fights come to them, and yeah, when we keep beating over to death, is that they have the late game, so they don't really need to make any over-aggressive plays. All kind of playing around each other. Everyone, pretty much all of near each other. All of LFY. NewBee's trapped in their base now, all the farm. Just ticking up more and more for LFY.
They have got the money on the sniper now for SCCC to finish off that NKB. Obviously, we'll leave him in a position without buyback available, but maybe at this stage, if you want to have any sort of hope of holding LFY back from breaking the high ground, you have to go all in on the purchases, and it indeed does look like they have, as they pick up that Demon Edge, get it sent back.
He's like he's the only real damage for the Medusa, honestly, because the Bloodseeker going in to do damage is just, it's not realistic. Map control favoring LFY more. Monet finds himself a DD bottom. Maybe this is where they try to go for an aggressive play.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Super, he has the money for the Skadi now.
Yeah,
It's complete, just like that. Matter of minutes, that's there. Inflame now also has a Lotus Orb, so they have all the potential to just buff up Super, allow him to sit on the high ground.
Yeah, just throw everything on him.
How can NewBee put a stop to this?
570 GPM Medusa. After he got pressured a decent amount by NewBee in that lane too, he just sat back, farmed Ancients, and he's that thing that brings the whole team together with that Stone Gaze. It's possibly hard, it's almost impossible to fight around.
Arfu sort of working on his luxury items as well. Shadowblade up next. Nearly has the money to pick it straight up.
It's always nighttime too, so NewBee, like, they just can't leave their base. They can't get any more farm coming their way. It's only going to be the sniper clearing out those waves that push in. So everyone else's farm is just going to get hindered more and more. KP's farm has mostly stagnated after the laning phase, after he died twice.
I mean, how do you break yourself out of this sort of position that NewBee are in? Do you have to sort of go for a YOLO smoke out of the base, or
Don't think they can.
waiting and hoping that LFY do make a bit of a mistake on the high ground attempt?
I think that's pretty much what you have to come down to. Smoking out into nighttime, that's asking for mistakes to kind of happen from NewBee. You're playing around no vision. And the scan came out from LFY in the NewBee base, and they caught him, so they know that NewBee's just stuck in there. And the lead will continue growing more and more for LFY.
LFY more than happy to sit back, get these items. Monet as well.
Yeah,
Nearly has the Scardian.
He's getting up there. He's almost tied up now with the Bloodseeker. Yeah, Bloodseeker can't farm, just sends Manta, Radiant Illusions to try to get anything.
And I feel like we've just seen this sort of position that LFY have managed to force another team into time and time again, where 30 minutes in, they just make the map theirs. Both halves, full reign of it. They have deep wards down as well. Now, I think here comes the desperation smoke from NewBee. They know that they have to do something. If the game continues like this, it's very unlikely that they can have any chance of swinging it around. They have to go for these high-risk, high-reward plays.
Yeah, the Aegis gets reclaimed, and right now, they're just sitting in their base. You know, they're not really playing Dota. They have to be able to do something to get back in this one. So this is their smoke. They're trying to make something happen. Try to go for some big pickoff when someone's separated from the team. Monet could be the target here.
Certainly would be the big one to get, but he's going to Shikuchi straight into this smoke, and KP's going to be off the mark, tries for a call.
They put the sentry, he hides out,
But
he's the time lapse away.
Time lapse is away. The silence connects. They do have the assassinate, but it's nowhere near enough damage or control.
And now the whole team's coming. LFY's on their way. NewBee's got to retreat, but they're going to get caught out here, it seems like.
They've got to run. They've got to hide. Arfu's going to be ready to jump in. Doesn't quite have the vision there to jump up, but the rupture's upon him. Will use himself up. Arfu taking a lot of damage. KP getting the call to Inflame. In fact, they've got Arfu. They've got Inflame. Buyback immediately from the Earthshaker. Super with the Stone Gaze, holding FCC back. Now he gets the chance to back off with the BKB, but Moogie, he's picked up the double kill.
Monet's
now
going down as well.
Monet has no time lapse. Triple kill for Moogie. Now they go towards Super's. Blade mails out. Blood right. Moogie himself out of it. Arfu jumps in with the Echo Slam. Does take down SCCC. Super is incredibly big, incredibly tanky. Solar Crest upon him as Inflame comes back in. They turn towards Faith with the Shallow Grave and the self-use up. Moogie's trying for the TP out. Not going to be. Oh! Gets himself away there. The BKB and the TP out will keep Moogie alive, but the rest of NewBee are down.
That was probably one of the best situations that could actually happen for NewBee, though. The way that fight started out, they throw the Rupture on Afu. He blinks, takes out 75% of his own health from the Rupture right away. So they don't have the initiation from him. Nightstalker also walks in as well. I believe he gets stunned or called right away, dies instantly too, so the fight just looks awkward. Forces them both to buy back right off the bat. And it's pretty much just Super versus everybody for quite a while.
KP pulling off to the side. And they slowly but surely are bringing Super's mana down, but so gradually.
Yeah.
And even with the three of them just focusing him, the Blade Mail's back up.
LFY did look like they were a bit concerned though. That double buyback, you could see they're like, okay, this fight looked a bit scary. It's Super might get isolated.
Definitely signs of life there for NewBee. KP fully immersed in this game. Has to keep concentration at the highest. There's such high stakes on the line here in this winner's bracket. Nearly has the Blade Melt done on KP. Certainly could make the difference if he gets a good jump in.
We get the level 25 Medusa now. Goes for the 2-second Stone Gaze stun. A 5-second stone duration. If anybody actually gets caught by that one, it's pretty brutal how much the Medusa actually can deal with the item build that she has. But Moogie still has a good matchup, you know, versus that Weaver. You saw what happened in that fight. As long as he has vision of the Weaver for a couple seconds, he can just run at him with that movement speed that starts to build up in those fights.
The gem going to be picked up for LFY. I believe they did lose the last one in that fight. But I mean,
Super's building into more damage now, too.
but he's close to the MKB. Well,
Yeah,
okay, still got a bit to go. But
Still a bit to go, but
he's still so far ahead of anyone else in this game. 24,000 net worth on this Medusa. As you say, capping out on the levels.
yeah, needing this MKB as well. Maybe preemptively expecting a sniper to go for the butterfly, but mostly for the radiance at the turn time. And if there is a solar crest, they'll come out afterwards. It's just a good damage item.
And SCCC as well at the moment does have Satanic queued up. I guess realizing that these fights, there's never going to be a short one. If they ever want to have a chance of bringing down Super, it's going to be a game of sustain, of stamina. And Satanic, definitely an item that can offer that for you.
Smoked up by LFY. They have darkness available. Nighttime is in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. The line is drawn. They throw the scan as well. They know exactly where NewBee's positioned on this high ground.
They will know there was some sort of vision there as the creeps did take down NewBee's ward. And it could have been a sentry, but of course it was the gem. In fact, now there's the jump in. Look at the Kaka. Silence out upon him. Arfu coming in as well. Yules will be there, buying some time. Kaka does get the boulder smash. In fact, off onto Arfu. Arfu, again, Yules up. But can they quite finish off the Shaker? They can. That's the Shaker down. Super now, forcing the rest of NewBee away on the sidelines. We're going to have Mugi trying to man up against Monet. Monet, in fact, might just go down. He's trying to scoot himself as well, but he can't get it. The Radiance burns it up. They take it down too. They're going to be able to dunk down in flame as well. And Mugi's not done. Turning towards DDC. DDC trying to run himself away, but the chase down is there. They've taken 4. They may just get Super as well. They have the Berserkers call into the border smash. SCC sits back, gets the damage down. No escape. He has got the cheese. Now cheese could be an issue. We'll see how lactose intolerant NewBee are. They're looking to man up against this Medusa. STCC back on the high ground, peeping him down. The Stonegates will hit in onto KP, but Mugi's back in with the gang. So they're going to be careful. Step away from this, boys. They'll lose the Earth Spirit, but they get the kill. NewBee somehow are doing it in these team fights, wiping LFY.
With that high ground advantage, again, look at how much damage the Bloodseeker is able to do in these engagements.
8,000, I mean, we saw so many kills there, down to just that Radiance burn with the Blood Rage on the edge of it all.
The fight got completely split up. KP was able to keep Medusa on the left side. Afu gets caught on the right side. Nightstalker and Earthshaker died right away. There's a lot of the control for LFY to actually get that chase out. Further Weaver and further Medusa to do damage.
I mean, this is insane. NewBee just raising their game to another level to keep up and on par with that of LFY.
Bloodseeker level 25 now too with that super low cooldown Blood Right.
And now it's NewBee with the Aegis and Cheese, less than a 1k lead.
Unbelievable. Let's take a look at how this fight happened. So they get Kaka completely segregated here, but Alfu blinks in and gets destroyed.
And at the same time, Super at the start does a great job of forcing the rest of NewBee away, but it's on this side here. Monet trying to man up against Mugi.
They can't handle Mugi. When he has that BKB pop plus that Crimson Guard, there's just way too much survivability coming out for him. With that gem as well, it's super important that he's the one holding the gem on the Bloodseeker. So he always tracks out where that Weaver is.
Just a perfect item build from Mugi this game, with the Manta and the BKB having enough survivability. And we did see, of course, how hard it was for them to bring down Super at the very end, but they did do it. They take them all down.
Rare mistakes coming out from Afu in these fights. That's twice now that he's gotten not able to get a good Echo Slam off at the start of the fight. It's also, they're walking into the high ground at disadvantage.
Look at that graph. NewBee.
Massive swing. They're actually ahead now.
This is insane. Considering how much control LFY had of the full board, and now NewBee able to take these fights back on an even level with the standings of LFY's team.
That experience swing as well is massive. Almost 15k after those two situations that just happened. And I believe they got, did they actually recover both gems? I want to say
I think Faith did pick up one of the gems that was left around the pit.
So there's 3 gems now. There's 2 at base and 1 on Kaka. And now I don't believe LFY can actually buy a secondary one just yet.
No, because they recently brought it with Super. I'm pretty sure they did. It is, yeah, it's still on cooldown, I imagine.
Yep.
Yeah, KP and Kaka both holding gems at the moment for the side. We'll see if they do both continue to take them out. I mean, obviously great heroes to have them upon. Kaka and Scout at this higher cliffs and search for the D-wards, and KP being their frontliner, needing that vision to have a chance of catching down Monet. And looks like NewBee, they're coming out. They want to try and continue this momentum that they've recently found with this smoke up.
They've got Aegis and Cheese, so. And they're wanting to attain map control after this 40-minute mark, where We see those runes, extra creep waves, etc. coming out.
Flame, it would be a nice little one to jump on at the start, but immediately the darkness comes out. As soon as Faith has that smoke dispelled and Inflame's out of there. They're aware of some shenanigans going on down towards the bottom. The NewBee will still stand their ground, continue to move across, look towards taking this tier 2. And indeed, certainly now NewBee feeling that element of power that they can now try and force LFY to react to them down to those last few team fights.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And CCC now with the money as well to finish off that Satanic. MKB is now there though for Super.
The Sniper and the Bloodseeker are just like crazy farm though. Like Bloodseeker over the Weaver is 8,000 gold. And just being able to stand toe-to-toe as a Weaver versus Bloodseeker is incredibly important, but he can't at all right now at this stage.
And Mugi individually got so much from those last fights. Definitely when we're looking at Super, a few minutes ago, he was a clear 5,000 ahead of that Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
So the amount that he's got out of that is absolutely insane.
His targeting the fights is just perfect. He's not trying to focus on the Medusa. That's what we said it before. The Bloodseeker to the Medusa, he can't really go for that damage on him, but if he can go around picking off the sidelines, if he can find the Night Stalker, the Weaver, that's the dream situations for NewBee. Aegis still for about a minute and a half on NewBee. They're holding multiple gems too. They're holding 2 of them now on the Axe and the Earth Spirit to try to keep track of where that Weaver is in those fights.
Really nice use of the Manta Star as well from Mugi, constantly sweeping the illusions round the outskirts of the fight to make sure that there's very little chance that Arfu can get that blink in from the Shaker.
Yeah.
See how they react to this. SCCC slowly pushing down this mid lane.
Very slow attack speed on S-Triple-C right now with this build. No real attack speed items actually, just the treads and the Maelstrom. Some harassment assassinates that only do like 200 damage.
Bit of a warning shot. Frostarmer's out onto the tower. Looks like it will not be enough to save it. As NewBee take the tier 2 back off Super. Maybe see if you can get some sort of a catch there with a Scardy hit. Not going to be the case.
With those double MKBs up, they can do quite a lot of damage to that Dusa.
And again, with these wards that NewBee got out off the back of that push. And the
Monet.
in fact, yeah, he gets the grab. Do they have the follow-up though? There's the boulder smash, perfectly timed with the silence as well. It's going to be close. Blood Rights upon
Getting locked down.
That's the Weaver gone. They take down Monet. And now LFY, they've got to be careful. There's the stone gaze for Super again. KP, he comes in, gets the call up. Super being controlled. They'll buy back on Monet, but Super is falling down low with the rope trip on him. He's gone. SCCC will lose the Aegis, but that's reducing down. Monet brought back for this. There's the first silence. Do they have the control? The
Another stun.
Smashes Arfu trying to hold the back. Has the Echo Slam off the back of the Fisher. But there we go. NewBee still moving forward. Looking for Monet. Kanka will get himself out of there. But Mugi's chasing down the Weaver. Monet has the time lapse. Assassinate is upon him. Will bring him down. No, not quite low enough with the Lincoln Sphere to block it. He should be fine.
Level 25's got that movement speed to run away.
But again, these fights from NewBee, I mean, Monet's got to be careful, Mugi. Still on the hunt. The rest of the team making their way over as well. But yeah, quite not enough catch to close that gap. But this is huge. Super down for 60 seconds. He forced a buyback out of Monet on his Weaver.
They're chaining their CC so well. That was stun into silence, into another silence while he's ruptured as well. Well, and an Axe Call on top to so many different types of disable for this Weaver who does not have magic immunity. Could be considering that he may want to change up the build to go for that just because of this lockdown.
We've got to watch KP. KP gets a grab on him. He's going to be in trouble. Fortification will be forced out. NewBee ready to push in. Maybe seeing if they can get a reaction out. Oh, Super jumping from KP does get the grab onto the Night Stalker, dragging Inflame in, a weak limit caked up. Is it enough to save him with the Blood Right pure damage? It should bring him down, and it does. Mugi gets the kill. The Chain Frost is out, but it's not enough to deter NewBee back from this push.
Monet's ruptured in silence.
The bashes as well. That's the Weaver down. For 2 minutes, no Monet. Does not have buyback. And now NewBee, they're closing in on the bottom racks. They'll easily take this one. Can they take more out of it?
Wow.
The mid lane's pushing in. They've already found the tier 2 there. They can look for a second lane. Super will be back up at 100 seconds without this Weaver fog.
This is definitely problematic. Braxtery dropping down now too. Multiple wagons. KP goes for a call.
Try to Fisher block him in. Won't quite get the block off. KP will be fine, but slowing down this push from NewBee. LFY really not wanting to lose their second lane of Brax at this point. You obviously have the Medusa to push out these stronger creeps, but still, NewBee gaining a good grip on this game. 14,000 net worth lead now. KP again on the outskirts looking for that jump, and he's going to find it.
Trying to find him.
Yes, the Medusa starting to drag him back. We'll get Glimmer caped up, so Super will be fine. Can't quite drag him all the way out of the base as KP would have hoped to.
2 shrines expended there by LFY.
KP again, Battle Hunger onto Arfu. No chance of the blinking from the Shaker now. In fact, KP again going in onto Super. Boulder Smash is there to follow through as well. But now with the Fisher block, KP could be in trouble. The Skadi slowing him down. Silence upon Tamugi, but he beat KP's. Backs off. They get another melee racks. Can they put it? But no, KP comes back in again. Gets the call off onto Inflame. Inflame's gone. Super moving forward with the Stone Gaze. Mugi, who he will get taken down. Big kill for Super.
Arfu's here too.
SCCC. Arfu has the control for the BKB. The Satanic SCCC. He turns.
And they call it.
It is gone. It is over.
Wow.
Wow, NewBee. What a game one.
That turnaround.
I can't believe NewBee did that. Here on
Holy
the main
crap.
stage.
Mugi really stepped it up there, but what ended up happening is that LFY were really reliant on making sure that Apu and the Nightstalk are able to get into the fights because they are the catch, they're the chase for LFY's lineup. If they don't have that lockdown or those type of slows for the Medusa to get into the fights, we see what happens. NewBee's just able to prolong the fight with their massive amount of sustain from the Dazzle, from the Weave, and they end up taking those fights just because of the duration of them, because the way that the matchup of the Bloodseeker versus the Weaver is. Mugi just standing toe-to-toe, just ruining Monet's life throughout the entire game.
An absolutely excellent Dota, as we came to expect from this winners bracket final. This game one, insane performance from both sides, and as you say, just to see NewBee turn it around when LFY, or 30 minutes in, they had full control of the map.
It really looked like they were going to be able to go for that siege, but just the multiple initiation from NewBee was incredible. The way they could split up the fights, defend that sniper, let him be in the back lines, extend the duration of it, and once the Earthshaker and Nightstalker are dead, it's really hard for LFY to keep those fights going with just a Weaver and a Dusa for their lack of catch. It's just them kind of trying to poke at people.
And it really was that one smoke we talked about.
Yep.
NewBee, their backs against their wall, they keep their calm, they keep their cool, they go for that high-risk smoke play, move down towards the bottom lane. Initial fight wasn't quite great. It wasn't like an incredible win for NewBee, but it was the fact that they were getting kills on LFY's cause, despite the fact that it cost a multitude of their lives. But wow, what a game one. NewBee leading the series 1-0. I cannot wait for game two, but we're going to have to as we give the players a break and we head back to the panel. Wow.
For the first time in this entire tournament, LFY